Dorchester's own Jordan Knight, a relatively new kid in the restaurant business, and Vance Welch, managing partner of Novara and Abbey Park. Welcome to both of you.
Hey, thanks for having
Now,
us.
Vance, before we start, I want to read some of the posts on YouTube, obviously about you. He's an amazing man. He is magical, listening from Denmark. And this one is really a tribute to you, Vance. I'm waiting for my baby daddy to come on TikTok. How did you become so popular, Vance?
What
it's
have you been
incredible.
doing?
It's really amazing.
Okay. Well,
Vance is turning red now, like Trenny did an hour ago, I should say.
well, we did have a very embarrassing moment with Trenny Casey, who is our sports analyst, came in here and just about died when you came over and talked to her because she's been a New Kids on the Block fan forever and a day. But people do know you for your fame with your brother and the other band members, but you are also now in the restaurant business. So how'd that happen?
It kind of happened by luck. Me and my wife, we moved to Milton maybe 20 years ago or whatever. There was actually no restaurants in Milton, it seemed like. And we had to travel far and wide to go to a restaurant. And then there was a restaurant that opened up, Abbey Park, which was in East Milton Square, and we started going to that regularly. And the food was great, the service was great, and we found out that Vance was owner and operator of that restaurant. And we got to know Vance, and the food, the food was always consistent and everything. And there was some construction going on a couple buildings away. And, I started to ask Vance, like, what's going on over there? He said, oh, we're doing a new restaurant. And I was like, oh, that's really exciting. And later on, we talked about me being an investor, and he showed me the space. And I thought it was, like, just what Milton needed. One thing I was nervous about was, it really was, because Milton didn't have, like, a kind of like a cool place, kind of like, it seems like something you would go to in the South End or downtown or something like that, but it was in the suburbs. And he showed me the spot, and then I was like, but there's a restaurant like 2 doors down. And I was wondering, why he was doing it. And then I was looking, and I said, well, there's a Starbucks there, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts there, and they're both busy, so I guess it'll work. So, and I knew Vance, ran a tight ship, and and the same executive chef was going to be working at the new restaurant, so I jumped aboard, and I really feel like I got lucky by meeting Vance by happenstance, and through my wife, actually, she really kind of pushed the idea.
So, Vance, I've been to Abbey Park. It's great, by the way. Is this were you nervous? I'm serious about having somebody who had no involvement in the restaurant business other than liking good food as a partner.
No, I mean, I think Jordan brings a lot to the table for us. He's,
so to speak.
very
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah.
So, no, not at all. I mean, we knew Jordan, and we became friends over the years, and that's no.
Before we talk
Vince,
about the food,
we have to find out. If, like I said before, Trenny Casey comes in here, she's beside herself. I mean, this happened to you many times, I'm sure, over your career, that people see you or they recognize you and they're all excited. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, are people knocking on the window, finding out if the new kids are going to be playing in the back patio or anything? I mean, do you get a lot of starstruck young kids and older kids looking for them?
We get our share of fans.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Hey, Vance, how did you make it through the pandemic? I mean, you've been. How was that? I mean, we've talked to a lot of restaurateurs here, some of whom didn't survive, many of whom survived literally by a shoestring. And how did it go for you? What'd you do?
Well, we got creative with takeout, and that's something that became almost like another business for us. It's something that we never closed down. We went right back to work.
But then you have a COVID, you survive that, and then you have a fire, which is got to be so. Well, you're the partner in the business there, Jordan. I mean, how depressing is that to a small business guy?
It was. It was scary to know that the place caught on fire. I drove down there, and luckily it was, one of the fryer laters somehow caught on fire, and there was like, I guess, the fryer-laters have a chute to take the flames if they do catch on fire? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that
it got caught up in a ventilation system.
So, but it went up through the vent and it like burned a hole in the roof, and you know the fire trucks were there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. So I walked in, I saw Vance in there, and he was walking around, and most of all, it was like smoky, and there was just water everywhere, and there was basically a hole in the roof, and you know, luckily for us, Milton Fire came really quick and put it out. But yeah, for a small business, it's probably the most devastating thing that can happen, and luckily, it wasn't too awful.
Okay, so we're not going to let him describe the food. We're going to let the investor, describe the food. What are these mushroom things I'm eating?
Oh,
You know what?
delicious.
I've never
Those
had the mushrooms,
They're
but
really good.
I swear.
What's this thing right here?
That's a tuna poke.
Oh, am I talking to you, Vance, or am I
tuna.
talking to this
Tuna.
guy? I mean,
I don't
I
eat
want to
tuna.
hear. You don't eat that either. You don't
No.
eat the mushrooms. You don't eat the tuna.
No, but
what do you eat?
I guarantee you they're good. I eat the chicken parm. I eat these.
Chicken parm.
Chicken-
Absolutely.
And what's
Chicken-
that over
what's
there?
Chicken parm meatballs, actually.
Chicken parm meatballs, okay.
What is that, Vance? I've had that
That's
the other
what I'm
day.
taking home, Jim.
See, I'm not a foodie,
That's
but
pretty apparent. You know what I mean here?
but I like the food.
That's the short ribs.
Short rib.
Short ribs.
I had
Can I
that
have
two nights ago.
Can you pass that over in this
it's
direction,
kind of,
please?
Vance,
Thank
this
you.
is kind of Italian. Is it Italian
Kind of.
cuisine? Now,
Thank you.
I know
Yes,
the other
sir.
place is more American.
Yeah.
But this new place is more Italian, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, you don't look Italian, and the name
Nope.
Welch is not particularly Italian. So where do you get off doing the Italian food thing?
Well, our culinary partner, Tony Dorenzo, he was the chef that
Yeah.
we opened with, and he's Italian.
And
Okay.
his grandmother taught him how to cook when he was a young boy, and she's from Italy.
Is a mother or grandmother still helping out in the restaurant? Did I read that
Yeah,
somewhere?
she was. Well, she had been. She used to make all our meatballs.
She
so,
did.
so it's the real deal.
Yeah.
Italian.
So why is Italian? I mean, it's like every time you turn around, you know, people love Italian restaurants. I mean, I love Italian restaurants. So what is it about Italian food? Are you Irish?
I'm Irish.
There's not many Irish food places, Vince, are there?
No, there is not.
No, there's not very many. There's not many at all. So, Vance, what's wrong with the Irish food? What's great about the Italian food?
I don't know. I think that we would have to.
Yeah?
I mean, I think that if you look at the Italian foods that are on the menu, they've been popularized here as more American,
Yeah.
Italian American, and that's pretty much the core of our menu.
You know, we're trying to have a serious discussion about a restaurant that
I was
just
going to ask
reopened,
Vance
survived
about
COVID.
baked potatoes.
No, wait a second. Before you get to baked potatoes, here's Tracy. Public radio has never been more popular. It's a little insulting to us. Here is Hungry for Jordan with a couple of emojis and from Sao Paulo, Brazil, his voice, oh my God, I melt every time. I mean, this is it's really.
Well,
Can I tell you what we have?
What?
Because, by the way, obviously your goal is to get people in your restaurant. And one of the promotions you did was fabulous, Vance. We have a photograph, actually some video.
Yeah, it's right there.
Of Jordan here he is at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Now, why did you decide, Jordan?
It gets hot in the restaurant.
So that's why you decided to
With
take
the-
your shirt off, right?
Yeah. With all the the cooking that's going on.
Exactly.
And that's
touching
me
his-
rubbing my belly because I just had a great meal. I think salmon piccata was what I ate before I did that number there.
Well, you're looking
But
pretty
Jordan,
good.
Jim used to have, he's no longer doing, he used to have kind of a modest TV show here at
Yeah.
GBH. It was on every night at 7
What do you
o'clock.
mean modest?
Well, it was not like millions and millions of people
No, it was
tuning
not.
in. And, we'd go someplace sometime, some event we had to go to, and people would come in and say, oh, Jim, oh, Jim, oh, Jim. You must get that all the time. So I wonder how you handle it. If you're out for dinner with your wife and your kids, or if you're just walking down the street, I mean, is it a pain in the neck, or are you okay?
For the most part, 99% of the time, it's just fine. It's kind of like, it really is. It's an honor for people to recognize me, and it's like it's better than that than they don't recognize me, right?
Okay.
But no, early on in like '88, when we just like hit the scene, it was kind of crazy, and I would say at that time it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Now it's not overwhelming. People people are calmer now and they just want to say hello, take a selfie,
Okay.
talk a little bit,
Jordan,
whatever.
what are you talking about? This woman, Jessica, is watching on YouTube. She just saw the photograph. Here's what she posted. Let me at those short ribs. I mean, this is not our normal guest kind of experience here.
So Vance,
Yeah.
By the way, the short ribs, Vance, let me just tell you, are spectacular.
Yeah, the mushrooms are
they
fantastic,
They are really
too.
spectacular.
So I mean, were you like a new kids on the block?
my God.
Guy being a guy. I mean, I could be wrong. I thought more girls.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right. And maybe the guys weren't quite so enthused.
I'm going to guess not.
Okay.
We're talking to the two guys, Jordan Knight and Vance Welch, who have Abbey Park is Vance's, and obviously Novara is reopened after this fire. You're back in business, right?
Yeah, and I also am now part of Abbey Park.
Oh, you are
as
part
well.
of the Abbey Park?
Yep.
So you're not, is this a restaurant deal? Is this the beginning of more of you involved in the restaurant business, or is this a two and done kind of deal?
I mean, I don't have huge aspirations. I like that. I like the group that we have, and it's like they're both in East Milton Square. I like that it's in my town. So I would say that's about it. I don't have huge aspirations to let's franchise, let's take over the world. No,
Can you pass me the meatballs or whatever?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I think it's fair to say that East
you.
Milton Square has gotten much hipper the last few years, huh?
Yes, it has.
Are you from Milton, Vance?
Quincy?
Oh, Quincy. Oh,
Close enough.
Yeah.
Quincy's gotten kind of hip
Yeah,
lately,
Quincy's-
too. I was
Quincy's
stunned when I
small.
went down there a couple of days ago to go to a restaurant, actually, and the whole place was lit up. Christmas lights. It did have kind of a little bit of a Newbury Street feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it really has come along.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this thing?
Oh, espresso
What is-
martini.
Oh, my wife
These are great.
loves that.
Wait,
yeah.
this is an espresso martini?
Yes.
It's like a gallon.
Yeah.
That's right.
Throw it on
I'm
ice,
all
you'll be
set.
happy.
Wow, Margery's never been happier. So, Jordan, yesterday, Margery is obsessed with the monarchy. And
Yeah.
yesterday, she forced me to discuss Will and Harry, two brothers who are not getting along.
Yeah.
Apparently, you get along pretty well with your brother. That'd be Jonathan, who happens to be in this band of yours.
Yeah.
Sold only 70 million records, if you're counting. Here he is. This is B. Jordan speaking about his older brother Jonathan on an episode of HGTV's Farmhouse Fixer,
Okay.
in which they move and renovate a family home. Here it is.
Is this when I
John
tear
has
up?
always been the one with the big heart. That's why we get to have these moments together, because of you, because of your your heart, your spirit. It pulls us all in and brings us together, and we're so lucky to have you.
You are choking up in that deal. What's that
I
about?
was. Well, it's true. My brother is like, he's kind of the heart of the family. Besides my mom. My mom is the heart of the family. I would say he comes in second. But he is. He just loves us all together. My brother wears his heart on his sleeve, and he has this show on HGTV, and he's asked me a number of times to be in scenes with him and jump in on the show with him. And I guess at that moment I was feeling just so proud of him, because he's been wanting to do a show like that for a long time, and he just kept pushing and pushing, and he would get an offer and he said, no, they're trying to sell me short, or I don't like it as much, and he just kept going, and now he has a hit TV show, and I was just really proud of him.
It's like This Old House for Farms, right? I mean, it's a variation on a theme, isn't it?
I would say, yeah, renovating old farmhouses.
What's with the Dorchester kid and farms? I don't quite.
What is
that
funny?
about?
We were like, we lived in Dorchester, but we lived in a big Victorian house, and there was a barn attached to, not attached, but on the property, and we had like animals, like goats and stuff like that in
Dorchester?
Yeah, we were looked at as a very eccentric family, rightly so, I think. But John was always the one that kind of stayed home and kind of was like the farm boy in the city. And my parents, they're both from Canada, and their relatives, and they come from farmland, basically, the farmland in Canada.
We're speaking with Jordan Knight of New Kids on the Block fame and restaurateur Vance Welch about their recently reopened joint venture Novara in Milton. You know, for people.
Excuse me, Robin says I think Vance is cute too, so you're included in this, Vance.
Vance is very cute.
I want to be
Vance,
clear.
We all
Go
noticed
ahead.
that.
Vance.
Vance. Yep. So for people that don't know, tell people how you guys all got together. You and your brother and Donnie Wahlberg, Joey McIntyre, Danny Wood. How this happen when you were like little preteens?
We all went to elementary school together, the charter school in Roxbury.
Did you have to wear uniforms then? Did they make you wear the khaki?
No, it was public school.
Okay, before then. Okay.
Yeah, it was a public. It is still. I think it's still around. So we all went. We're all from Dorchester, and a producer, Maurice Starr from Roxbury, who started New Edition. He wanted to start another group, and he was looking for some young guys who sang and danced. And he first came across Donnie. And Donnie rapped, and he really liked Donnie and Donnie's vibe. And Donnie then, because I used to sing in the school choir, and I sang in my church choir when I was really young. And he just gave me a call and said, you know, this guy Maurice, he wants to start a pop group. And I was like, pop group? He's like, yeah, you know, it's kind of like New Edition. And, you know, I was a big fan of New Edition. And he took me over there to meet him, and went up to his house, and he had a couple records that he already had planned for us for this new group that he wanted to start, and he wanted me to sing a few lines from the song. So I sang a few lines, and he was like, yeah, great. You're in, kid.
And how old were you?
I was 14.
14.
Yeah, I was 14.
So you went from living in Dorchester in the big Victorian house, you know, family there, 14 years old, singing in the church choir and the school choir, to like international fame in how long?
Yeah, I mean, when I was 14, I was more like, I was kind of a street kid. I was like breakdancing and stuff like that at that time. And then it also took us 4 years to get a hit on the radio. So we were like working. We did like I was telling Vance earlier, we probably performed at the Boston Public Library. We performed everywhere. We performed at my nephew's 2-year-old birthday party. Honest to God, we performed everywhere, and we really made our bones. And we wouldn't say no to an offer. We did it all for free. We just like. We wanted to get our act together. We put out an album, it totally flopped. And then the record label was like, you know, we don't know if we want to keep you guys on or we should change producers. And our producer was telling us this, and we said, no, Maurice, no. We're doing it with you, doing it together. We did another album, put it out. It was like the first single was almost ready to flop, basically, and then one station in Florida picked it up and called our record company and said, you guys have a hit. You have a hit. This song is blowing up the radio. And then they...
Florida, not Boston.
No, in Florida, yeah.
No hometown attachment.
Well, we had some love here. WILD, AM station.
Yep.
So they gave us a lot of love. It was harder to get on Kiss 108. But they helped out a little bit, and
Matty Siegel was 50 then when that started, by the way. Hey, when you're a 14-year-old kid and you're playing, if someone says 40 years from now, you and your buddies from town are going to be playing together, what would you say?
I would say, no way.
What was that like recently? You were apart like more than a decade, right? And then you did this most recent thing, right?
Yeah, we were. We kind of disbanded in 1993 or 4 or something like that, and we got back together in 2008. So we were apart for a while. We always kept in touch, but we were, we took some time off. And
so how great was that when you were doing it again recently? I mean, that has to feel great, doesn't it?
It was pretty intense. Our first show was in Toronto, Canada, and it was always a big market for us. And we went up on this like lift, and we appeared, and all we saw was flashes, and it's just like It was overwhelming. It was really intense. And we started off Live Nation. They booked us for 14 shows. That was in 2008, and we've sold maybe, over 2, 3, 4 million tickets since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, in addition to that, you have a pretty good restaurant. The food is fabulous.
It's
Vance.
fabulous.
I've tasted everything from the mushrooms to the short ribs to the fish. Oh, we didn't taste before you go. Let's taste the dessert really quickly. What is this thing?
Chocolate mousse.
Of course, it
Chocolate
is.
mousse.
Chocolate mousse.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And let me tell you, you don't know Margery well.
Yeah.
This espresso martini, a gallon here, is going to be
That's
gone
right.
by tomorrow morning. Trust me, there is no.
It's an Irish slur there, Vance. I would say
It was
an Irish
Irish.
slur. Yeah. Okay. Hey,
Jordan, it's great to meet you. Vance, great to meet you. Good
Very
luck with
good
the
to meet
restaurant.
you.
We're going to check it out really soon ourselves. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
and good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you,
yeah,
guys.
thank you very much for being here. We were
Thanks,
speaking
everyone.
with Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block fame and restaurateur Vance Welch about their recently reopened joint venture, Novara and Milton. And you are hearing a little New Kids right now. You've got it, the right stuff from 1988.